Now today we follow up with some comments and helpful tips on the light hood that we assembled yesterday. This is the inexpensive light hood for the Nano Lagoon, the simple reef tank for responsible newbies. And if you have looked at that video, you will recognize this as the underside of the 10-gallon Nano Lagoon hood. And this is a combination of two 20-watt Coralife bulbs, and each bulb is 50-50 20 watt. That's half 10,000 K daylight and half actinic. The total of those two units, 1, 2, is 40 watts for 4 watts per gallon in a 10-gallon tank. Now let's look carefully at the bulbs themselves. This is of course a self-ballasted unit. There is no outside ballast. And we look at the bulbs. We see the bottom bulb is the so-called 10,000 K daylight bulb, and the top bulb is the actinic bulb. Now just a word about Kelvin temperature. When you hear 10,000 K, normally reef lights come in one of two varieties, the 10,000 K or the 6,500, 6,700 K. The 6,500 K bulb is a very warm bulb, and that approximates what you see at the equator on a coral reef in about 3 feet of water at noontime. That's the 6,500 K. Now this unit has the 10,000 K. That's what you see when you get down to 10 or 15 feet underwater. Everything starts to turn blue. And the soft corals and some of the hardy stony corals seem to do a little bit better with the 10,000 K bulbs. It's less aggressive, so to speak. Now let's look again at what we did. We put in an acrylic lens. You can't really see it, but I'm tapping it here. This is to waterproof the underside of the unit, and we sealed that in with some aquarium sealant around the lip, just to make sure that no seawater gets in there. And this will be an effective unit because the bulbs will not be exposed to any kind of salt water. Now as far as maintenance is concerned, you're going to have to take this hood off a couple of times a week when you clean your Nano Lagoon. And we've had a separate video called Keep It Clean that shows you how to clean the glass walls of the tank. When you do that, take a soft, moist cloth, like a terry cloth, and wipe off the lens of this light hood. And you've got to pay particular attention to this side. See, this hood is inverted, but this is where the hang on the back filter would go when it is on top of the aquarium. So there's going to be a little bit of splash, and there will be some salt, and a couple of times a week you just get in there with a moist cloth and kind of very gently wipe that off to keep the lens clear so the light can penetrate. And apart from that, there's not much that you need to do. It is a very lightweight unit, easy to handle, plugs into a normal socket. Make sure you use a GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter, which is sort of normal anytime you're working around liquids. And we will have more on this at a later date. Mahalo.